He's not on. He's not on. I think where there was. Oh, okay. Yeah, exactly.
My bad, my bad.
Another.
Oh wow! Only we got none colors of green.
Where to start, guys?
Where to find out?
Here, we can start.
You're not here.
Real job. I need very close. Last year I was working like 50 hours here.
focus on.
Well, hello everybody. Welcome to North Texas, AT&T Stadium, home of the Dallas Cowboys, America's team. You know, this venue will play host to one of the year's most significant fights. You know, on April 16th, Showtime pay-per-view, you know, the winner of the main event of this fight will walk away with 3 of the welterweight belts, and just 1 away from becoming the undisputed welterweight champion of the world. I'm Brian Custer, the host of Showtime Championship Boxing, and on April 16th, it's also the return of the truth. Errol Spence Jr. back to Showtime. One of boxing's pound-for-pound best, arguably the best active welterweight of this era. Errol Spence Jr. will seek to unify 3 titles when he puts his WBC and IBF title on the line against the WBA world champion, Yordenis Ugas. Believe it or not, it has been nearly 4 years since we've had Errol Spence and Yordenis Ugas on the network. It's also been nearly 4 years since Showtime Championship Boxing was right here in the Dallas area. Of course, people from Texas who lived here call it God's country. So it's been a while. In fact, our last visit here was when Errol defended his title against Carlos Ocampo. We all remember him stopping him in that first round with that body shot. It was a significant fight because it was the first time that a Dallas native had defended his world title here in this area in nearly 50 years. So it's good to be back. We love Texas because, like the network here in Texas, they do things big here. And this fight is big. It is a major fight for the glamour division of boxing. In fact, so significant, it is only the 16th unification fight in the welterweight division, one of the best in boxing. You know, when you have an event like this, you got to have major promotion. And this fight is being promoted by TGB Promotions and Man Down Promotions. I know what you're wondering. How about tickets? They're going fast. Tickets are on sale right now. They can be purchased at SeatGeek.com. Again, SeatGeek.com. It is the official ticketing provider of AT&T Stadium. A fight of major magnitude needs major promotion, and we've got one of the best. TGB Promotions. Their president is Mr. Tom Brown. Tom?
Thank you, Brian. Morning, welcome everyone. Errol Spence Jr. versus Yordenis Ugas is one of the most intriguing fights of the year. This is a fight that will determine who is the best welterweight in the world. And what a privilege it is to be here again at the home of the best professional franchise in sports, the Dallas Cowboys. And as Brian said, the saying in Texas is everything's bigger in Texas. And the Jones family and AT&T Stadium have a rich tradition of bringing the biggest fights to Texas. After Errol fought up in Frisco, before a sold-out crowd at the Star back in 2018, I immediately went to Jerry after the fight and started talking to him about bringing Errol here to AT&T Stadium. And he told me that night, right in Spence's dressing room, you have to bring me something worthy of this stadium. And I believe we've done that in Spence's first 2 fights here against Mikey Garcia and and Danny Garcia. And now here we are, delivering an absolute mega fight between Spence and Ugas. It's a sensational matchup in boxing's hottest division, with two world champions unifying the title. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. You know, as he pointed out, you can't have a fight of this magnitude without a world-class venue and support from one of the most, let's be honest, successful owners in professional sports today. When I lived here and worked here, had to cover this team, this owner for a number of years. One thing I love about him, though, is he's also become one of boxing's best friends. He's a big fan of Errol Spence Jr. And he is the owner, the president, the general manager of America's team, the Dallas Cowboys, Mr. Jerry Jones.
Well, good morning. I just personally, normally I would just come from, let's say out of the Star, I come to the stadium for a little John. I landed on this helicopter with this helicopter out here, but this morning I came from Indianapolis. Our coaches and our scouts are up in Indianapolis. And we're up there to look for the best players, principally that are coming from college today. And the kinds of things that we're looking for in those players are the kinds of things that you can see outwardly in the two people that I'm standing between right here. When we look at football players, we try to say, how can we measure, how can we dig deep and see what's inside, what's in their heart. We actually know they wouldn't be there had they not been qualified athletically to potentially play football in the NFL. Well, it is a pleasure to fly back here this morning and stand between these two great fighters. I had the most decorated person in the history of the United States, Medal of Honor winner, Pat Brady. And Pat Brady said he had never met anybody that had been a recipient of the Medal of Honor, but what they weren't deep there, a great person, because they had to sacrifice themselves for somebody else. And invariably, they're great people. Well, I'll tell you this right now. The two men I'm standing between them, they have proven beyond any doubt how much they will compete, how much they will fight. It doesn't take me long to understand why they fight when I think of the excitement around the competition, but then I think of the excitement of knowing that you are the very, very best on earth. And what was aptly described as arguably the glamour division of all of boxing. We're so proud of Earl. He's from here in DeSoto. But the main reason that I'm proud of him is when he fights at this stadium, he brings the crowd with him. As you know, we have a great, fantastic Mexican fan base. The Dallas Cowboys do. And Vaqueros de Dallas is very, very dominant south of the border and on the border. You can't believe the enthusiasm that the Dallas Cowboys enjoy and that this stadium enjoy because of our great Hispanic fan base and their enthusiasm for fighting. And this gives us all the reason in the world to do what I'm doing up here today. It is a big deal for the Dallas Cowboys to have this fight. These men are great competitors. They're great, great fighters. You have earned the right to basically be declared a champion in the welterweight division. To know when you get to that ring and you're out there against Earl, what's at stake in front of 50,000 fans or more out here, that's going to be an exciting night. So without any more fanfare, having said, number one, this is a big deal to the Dallas Cowboys. It's a big deal to this stadium. It's a big deal to sports. Showtime, I've always been a fan of yours. I've always been a fan of your continued support and promotion of boxing. There's a great place. It's a real sport. You don't have to worry about the end letting you down, or the center letting you down, or the quarterback letting you down, because you let yourself down or up when you're in the middle of that ring. That's who's carrying the mail out there. That's what's so wonderful, in my view, about this sport. So thank you for being here. You don't have to use your imagination to talk about the possibility and the talent involved and the skill and what's at stake here in this fight. I do want it to be on par with one or two of the greatest fights that we've ever had here, and we've had some good ones here. So it's an honor and credit to whatever the Cowboys, whatever the Stadium are, more importantly, and credit to yourself. Congratulations, guys.
Thank you, Jerry. Great thing about Showtime, we feel like we're America's network, just like America's team. We got a lot of Cowboy fans at Showtime as well. For myself and the next man I'm going to bring here to the mic. This guy, I really have nothing but the utmost respect for him because he's the gentleman, first of all, who made this happen, helped put this fight together. And I love that he continues to evolve, think out of the box, push the sport to higher heights. He's the president of sports and event programming for the Showtime Networks, Stephen Espinoza.
Thank you, Brian. Appreciate that. This may seem like a strange place to start, but in 1910, Theodore Roosevelt gave a speech in Paris. It's sometimes called the Man in the Arena. It's a very famous speech, and in it he said, "It's not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes up short again and again, who at best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at worst, if he fails, at least he fails while daring greatly." Daring greatly. Couldn't be a better description of what these two men have done over their careers and their lifetimes. Striving for greatness, encountering adversity, sometimes triumphing, sometimes not, but continuing to strive nonetheless. As we pointed out, the welterweight division has always been the glamour division. Sugar Ray Robinson, Sugar Ray Leonard, Oscar De La Hoya, Floyd Mayweather. This is a three-belt unification fight. 3 world titles on the line. This is exactly the kind of fight that Showtime has become known for. The best against the best, the most competitive matchups. But putting aside the quality of this matchup and the importance of this fight features 2 of boxing's best ambassadors. 2 elite athletes who represent the best of the sport through their sportsmanship, their integrity, and their respect. It's often said that boxing is a metaphor for life. We're all fighting for something, personally, professionally. We all have our battles. But that's not a metaphor for these 2 men. They have each battled almost unimaginable adversity inside and outside the ring. And the way they've done so is a credit to the sport of boxing. Errol Spence has fought on Showtime 7 times. We're proud that some of his most important fights have been on Showtime. His pro debut in 2012, his first title victory in 2017 against Kell Brook in Sheffield, the first time he fought in Dallas Cowboys venue against Carlos Ocampo in 2018. Today, Errol is the best fighter in the welterweight division and one of the 2 or 3 best fighters in the world. A tremendous body puncher, fundamentally sound in all respects. Thanks to the careful guidance of Derek James, one of the best trainers in the sport as well. Trainer of the Year in 2017 and in my book again in 2020. But you won't hear Errol or Derek talking themselves up. They're humble and modest, but make no mistake, they're tremendous competitors. But for all his success, Errol is no stranger to adversity. Once again, he's coming back from a setback. He's been in this position before. Coming back from serious injury, he did it in December of 2020 against Andy Garcia, just 14 months after a horrific car accident. And now he returns back to the home of his and my beloved Cowboys to face another challenge, coming back from another physical setback and facing another top-tier opponent. Like Spence, Yordenis Ugas was an accomplished amateur boxer, one of the most accomplished amateurs in the history of Cuban boxing. And as seriously as the Cubans take their boxing, that's saying a lot. Multiple national championships and world championships. But like many before him, he longed for freedom and opportunity in the U.S. He tried to escape Cuba 6 times. 6 times he was caught and put in prison. The 7th attempt, on a tiny raft, he was adrift on the open sea for 2 days before making it to Mexico. Made it to Miami, launched his boxing career, but things didn't go as planned. By 2014, he was retired, out of the sport. Things were not looking good. And it was a call from another friend from Cuba, Aroldis Chapman, the star New York Yankee, who said that he would take him out to Vegas and wanted to give him a fresh start. And that was the restart of the career, but that wasn't a happy ending either. Yordenis has become known as the fighter who takes tough fights on short notice and doesn't often get the benefit of the doubt. But all that changed last August when Yordenis got the call to fight Pacquiao on 10 days' notice. This time there was no hard luck. This time Ugas put it all together, coming out with a decisive win over the legendary Hall of Famer. Today, Yordenis is a lot of things: a world champion, a father to a son with autism, a role model, and a champion to the people of Cuba. An accomplished world champion with humility born out of experience and adversity, a father, a role model, an elite boxer. That is Yordenis Ugas. That is Errol Spence. Now, these 2 athletes are on the footsteps, on the doorstep of history, ready to write their names among the legends. We're thrilled to partner with PBC, TGB, the Dallas Cowboys, and the Jones family on this event. Showtime is, without a doubt, the industry leader in the sport of boxing. We've been the home of big-time boxing for 35 years, longer than anyone else in the sport. The biggest stars, the best matchups, the most memorable fights, they've been on Showtime. Hagler and Hearns, Tyson, Holyfield, Chavez, Canelo and Mayweather, they've all made their names on Showtime. We couldn't be more excited to be the broadcaster for this event. We promise to deliver the type of unparalleled world-class production that Showtime is known for, and that this world-class event and this world-class venue deserves. On April 16th, in this iconic venue, Errol Spence Jr. and Yordenis Ugas battle for 3 world titles, and more importantly, a place in boxing history. Live on Showtime pay-per-view. We'll see you then.
Thanks, Stephen. Now let's get to the reason why you're here. Let's talk to the fighters and the key participants of this fight. To my right, your left, you heard Stephen introduce him. He's the 2020 WBA, the 2017 Ring Magazine Trainer of the Year, and without a doubt, one of the best trainers in the sport, and the trainer of not 1, but 2 unified world champions, Mel Jarlow, and of course, Errol Spence Jr. He's Derek James. Derek, if you would, give members of the media just a statement about this fight, your fighter, and his opponent, Yordenis Ugas.
Well, first of all, thanks, Stephen, because you took just about everything I was going to say out of what I was going to talk about, how much Yordenis Ugas deserved to fight. From him never giving up from defecting, to him being brought back as an opponent, fight Brian Perella, and just fighting his way all the way back to become a champion. And the night he fought Pacquiao, if they remember, I went in his locker room and I told him, I said that this stage was set for you because Errol was injured. So go out and make the best of it. Go beat Pacquiao. And that's what he did. And so I know that he's a very tough competitor. I know that he's the guy that, you know, fighters get better when they fight good opponents. This is a good guy, and you'll see the best of Errol Spence, and Yordenis Ugas will bring it out of him. And he's a guy that I really respect, and he knows it. And so you'll see Errol shine, because he hadn't fought in like a year or 2 years or so, but he looked phenomenal in the gym, and he can only get better. I'm looking forward to the challenge.
In Yordenis Ugas' corner, again, one of the elite and best trainers in the sport. This man has been in the sport for over 40 years. All he's done, he's trained 20 world champions. Mr. Ismael Salas, if you would, give a statement about the fight, your fighter, and of course, Errol Spence Jr.
Good morning to everyone. All the best for Errol Spence and his trainer. Everyone here. Been a long time, 6 years of hard work with Yordenis Ugas. They taking him like the Phoenix, you know. Finally, we get what we working for. Is the top fight in welterweight division. Actually, we respect Errol Spence for his achievement. But remember, Yordenis Ugas always coming underdog, and I love to be underdog. And that night we will make a statement because he deserved to get what he working for. So, with all my respect, and of course, I pray for the best health for Errol Spence and Yordenis Ugas to give to the public, to give to everyone all the best in that night. April 16 will be history, and history will be made by the man beside me. Thank you.
And it's fine. You heard Steven talk about both of these guys, former Olympians. This man was an Olympic bronze medalist, 27-4. He's got 12 knockouts. He is the WBA welterweight champion of the world, looking to unify titles. He is Yordenis Ugas. Martin Bader is here. He'll do the translation. Martin, if you could ask Yordenis, please give us a statement about the fight. And of course, your opponent, Errol Spence Jr.
Bueno, Yordenis, un mensaje sobre la pelea y lo que significa para vos estar aquí peleando contra Errol Spence Jr.
Bueno, ante todo, buenos días a todos. De sentarme aquí a hablar, a preguntar sobre, a responder preguntas sobre boxeo, me gustaría entonces tocar dos temas bien rápidos, porque bien importantes para mí.
Well, before I start talking about boxing, I would first like to talk about two topics that are near and dear to my heart. Go ahead, Yordenis.
Todo el mundo sabe, todos los que me conocen, que soy un hombre comprometido con los temas sociales.
Everyone knows that I'm someone that's very involved with everything that has to do with the social aspect of life, not just boxing.
Y estoy emocionado de estar aquí, tengo la pelea más grande de mi vida, pero ante todo, lo primero que quiero decirle es, soy un ejemplo de mi comunidad y pedir libertad para todos los presos políticos de mi país, para todos los presos del 11 de julio.
Well, I'm really excited to be here for what's going to be the biggest fight of my life. I can't let the occasion go without asking for all the political prisoners in Cuba to be freed, because I want them to be free.
Y también mis pensamientos y oraciones para algunos de nuestros mejores peleadores que están en Ucrania hoy en día.
And my heart goes out to some of our best fighters, the best fighters in the world that are in Ukraine right now. I'm thinking about you.
Y me gustaría que se unieran a mí en un minuto de silencio para todas las víctimas que están en Ucrania sufriendo la invasión rusa.
I would like us to please have a moment of silence for all the victims in Ukraine that are suffering through this awful war.
responderte las preguntas de voceo.
Well, now I'm ready to talk about boxing. Go ahead. I'm ready for your questions.
So we're going to get to them, champ. But now, let me introduce the unified champion of the welterweight division, Errol Spence Jr., 27-0. 21 of his opponents not made it to the final bell. He is the IBF, the WBC welterweight champion of the world. He is Dallas's own, the truth, Errol Spence.
Thank you. I feel good to be back. This is a real blessing for me, just to be in this position in front of y'all. I feel like most people don't really just, I feel like most people take life for granted, until they give it a second chance. And, I've been getting a second chance at life, and I've been getting a third chance at boxing. And I'm just blessed to be here in front of you today. I'd like to thank Showtime, like Stephen Espinoza said. I started my career with Showtime. I had my pro debut, won my first world title overseas. Even today is like a reunion, just seeing the Showtime crew and being there. And they're all saying they're happy to have me back. I'm glad to be back. I'd like to thank Jerry Jones and the Cowboys for bringing me back and just realizing my skills and my potential and knowing that we're going to sell this stadium out. It's going to be a great night, great performance for myself. And I'm going to put a great show in front of my fans and my family, in front of the whole Cowboys organization. And I'd like to thank Ugas too for agreeing to take this fight with me. He's a tough competitor. He's a guy that comes to fight. I thought he won the Sean Porter fight, the Manny Pacquiao fight. He won that fight with a torn bicep or whatever injury that he had. So he's a great warrior, great competitor. But at the end of the day, I just feel like it's my time. It's my time to show the world that I can win another belt. And at the end of the day, I want to be undisputed welterweight champion of the world. So this is another step forward for myself. And I'd like to thank everybody here today coming out. I promise you, I won't stop none of my blessings and everything that I'm going to give you. I'm going to give my 100%, give my all, and I'm putting on a great show and great performance. And thank you all for coming out. Make sure everybody tune in April 16th. Tell everybody to order on Showtime pay-per-view. It's going to be a great performance by myself again. Man down, it's strap season time, baby.
Guys, let's talk about the fight. Then we'll take some questions from members of the media here. Yordenis fighting Pacquiao was huge. He was a legend, let's be honest. Future Hall of Famer. How would you, though, describe this fight with Errol Spence Jr.?
Yordenis, la pelea contra Pacquiao fue enorme. Una pelea contra una leyenda, un futuro miembro del Salón de la Fama, una gran victoria. Pero ahora de vuelta a la página, ¿y cómo describirías a esta pelea contra Errol Spence Jr.?
No, estoy emocionado, una gran pelea. Tengo mucho respeto por Spence, por su equipo, por su entrenador. Pienso que esto es una de las mejores peleas de todo boxeo. Dos de los tres mejores pesos welter del mundo peleando.
I'm so excited. I have nothing but respect for Errol Spence, for his team, for his trainer. And what you're going to see on April 16th is two of the three best welterweights in the world, face to face and ready to be a great show for the fans.
Pienso que esto es una de las mejores peleas de boxeo, dos de los mejores pesos welter del mundo y dos de los mejores entrenadores del mundo.
This is not just going to be a fight between two of the best welterweights in the world, but between two of the best trainers in the world too. They're going to go head to head and show their prowess as well.
Errol, I know everyone wants to know, any concerns at all with the eye? We haven't seen you in the ring in a while. Any concerns at all with the eye coming back, especially in such a big fight against Ugas?
No, the eye's been good. Sparring's been great. I've been sparring, been looking good. Of course, it's been hit, so it's on point. It's great. It's feeling good. Have no worries at all. So don't try to worry.
And it'll be almost, a year and a half since we've seen you in the ring. Ring rust, all of that type of things. Will we see the best Errol Spence come April 16th?
Definitely. I haven't been in the ring in a year and a half, but I have been training. So that's that one thing I've been training, been focused, been in the gym every day. So I feel like it wouldn't be any ring rust at all. I feel like I'm very sharp and I'm a lot better than the last fights where I probably trained for 2 months and then fight. But now I've been training probably for about, probably 6 months.
Yordenis, people wrote that the Ugas we saw against Manny Pacquiao was probably the best Yordenis Ugas we've ever seen. Can you top that performance against Errol Spence Jr.?
Después de tu pelea con Pacquiao, la prensa, la gente dijo, ese fue el mejor Ugas que jamás hemos visto. La pregunta del millón ahora es, ¿ese nivel de Ugas contra Pacquiao puede ser superado en esta pelea? ¿Crees que tenés otro nivel al que puedes llegar?
No, he sido un peleador, estoy peleando de los 6 años, siempre estoy listo para el desafío, he respondido el desafío y entonces voy a estar listo esa noche. Estuve listo para Pacquiao, voy a estar listo para Spence. Como digo, gran peleador, estoy súper emocionado de estar aquí en ese desafío abril 16.
I've fought since I was 6 years old. I have overcome any and all challenges. I was ready for Pacquiao, I'm gonna be ready for Spence. Like I said before, I'm so excited for this fight to be able to show people what I'm worth, and I can promise you, I'm gonna be ready on April 16th to show you what I'm worth.
Errol, listen, it's no secret, every time you step in the ring, you fight a hungry fighter. You certainly got one with Yordenis Ugas, especially with his background. I know when you were going to fight Pacquiao, you said, not only is this going to be a unification fight, but this is going to be a legacy fight for me. How would you then describe this fight you've got with Yordenis Ugas and a guy who is hungry?
It's going to be a great fight. Ugas is a guy, like I said, he always comes to fight. He never turned down his collar to fight anybody. But with all respect to, Pacquiao, I feel like I'm a way different fighter than Pacquiao. I feel like at this point right now, I'm a better fighter than Pacquiao. I keep bringing up Pacquiao, but that's like, Larry Holmes fighting Ali, or Terry Noah beating up Sugar Ray Leonard, or Madonna beating up Eric Morales. Like, Pacquiao's way past his prime. That was the passing of the torch for myself, but I missed that opportunity. So, I'm just going to put on a great performance. Like I said, he's a great fighter. He's going to fight. He's a real warrior. But I'm going to put on a great show, great performance for my crowd, and I'm hungry too. Because like I said, this is, my third chance at boxing. So I won't let the opportunity pass me either.
One thing I respect about you, Errol, is although somewhat of a quiet young man, whenever you say something, it comes to fruition. Your moniker's man down. You talked about making a great performance. Could you see yourself stopping Yordenis Ugas April 16th?
We'll see. I don't think I stopped anybody in the way. So, I've been feeling strong. I got nutritionists, things like that. So I feel like, that was the, missing ingredient because, I've been, struggling to make weight for a minute now. And, I feel like that's the main reason of me not stopping anybody, just, killing myself, with a sauna bag on and, running twice a day, things like that. It's probably, the first camp in a while that, I haven't put that on and I'm, small and, no shirt on and training with no shirt on and stuff like that. So, just to break fresh air and, it's been great this training camp and I'm actually having fun this training camp and I haven't had, fun in training camp in a long time. So.
Fantastic. We'll wrap it up with this. Yordenis, for the hundreds of thousands, probably even over 1 million people who are going to buy pay-per-view for this fight, 50,000 plus are going to come out to this stadium to watch you fight Errol Spence. What can you guarantee them on April 16th?
Yordenis, va a haber más de 1 millón de personas viéndote pelear por televisión. Más de 50.000 van a estar acá en el estadio viéndote pelear. ¿Qué le puedes garantizar a esa gente que está tan entusiasmada por verte en el ring?
No, que soy un peleador fuerte, soy un guerrero, he venido de atrás para adelante para llegar hasta aquí. Un hombre comprometido con su carrera, con su familia, con su equipo, con su comunidad. Y entonces, esa noche todo lo que tengo que darle es lo mejor de mí, dar el 100 y más, y va a ser una gran pelea, promesa.
I can promise you it's gonna be a great fight. I'm a warrior. I'm someone that's committed to his family, to his community, to his team. And I'm gonna give the fans more than 100% of what I can give. I'm gonna leave it all out there. And I can promise you it's gonna be something you don't wanna miss.
Errol, we'll wrap it up. Same question. Number of people from Dallas who are coming out to support you, million plus that will be buying it on pay-per-view. What can you guarantee they're going to get on April 16th?
They can guarantee fireworks. Ugas just got it. You know, like he's a warrior. He's gonna come to fight. He's gonna give it his all. I'm a guy that's gonna give it all. I'm gonna come to fight, and it's gonna be another great performance for myself. And I'm gonna do it in front of my fans in the hometown crowd. And like I said, you know, it's man down in strap season. You know, a lot of people watch, you know, Les Brown and Eric Thomas, and he tell you to push through the pain and watch all the motivational speeches and stuff by those people. But, you know, I'm the guy that they're, you know, talking about. I'm the guy that come back at the injury, you know, no physical therapy, just, you know, the will of my mind and my body, you know, my spirit is just the motivation of my family and friends. And, you know, push through all the pain and, you know, the stuff that I go through and make it out. You know, become successful, become a winner again. So, you know, if you like those type of stories, you like the, you know, Kanye West documentary and stuff like that, you know, I'm that guy in the flesh too. So make sure you tune in April 16th. It's gonna be a great fight. Man down strap season. Can't wait for April 16th to put on another show, another great performance.
No, there are members of the media who have questions. Just identify yourself, and we'll pass the mic for any members up here.
Right here, Errol McAngle, Fort Worth Star Telegram. It's good to see you. You've had a scary car wreck. You had a pretty scary eye injury. Did you have any moment after the most recent injury where you thought to yourself, for a second, a minute, a day, this is over. This is just not going to work out for me. I got to do something else.
Nah, I'm just built different. I mean, my mom can attest to that. Even my friend that's here, Jordan. As soon as I got out of the hospital, the car crashed. I was staying at a high rise, and it was like on the 24th floor. And my mom was actually, you know, chasing me up the stairs because I was walking up the stairs to get to my high rise, and they wanted me to take the elevator. And I got out the wheelchair, just walked up, and I was just like, you know, I gotta get back, you know, to myself. And I was just aching in pain, you know, hips hurting, and everything was banged up. But it was just the will just to get back and come back. And even in the hospital, you know, I was saying the opponents that I wanted and who I wanted to fight and things like that, and tell them that, you know, I'm gonna come back, you know, I'm gonna fight the best guys. You know, I'm not a guy that is gonna take, you know, a tune up with somebody I know I can beat. You know, I want somebody who, you know, the odds might gonna be in my favor, but, you know, there's some people that's gonna be better than the other guy too. So for myself, I just feel like, you know, it was no time that I felt like it was over. You know, I just feel like it's gonna be a hard road back, and I just gotta keep working. And just thanks to the support of my, you know, family, friends, and things like that, I got back to it. Because after my car crash, I was 190, and, you know, I was big and going through a lot of demons and stuff like that. But, you know, just to make sure that my kids and my family have a better life, I pushed through it, and here I am at this point. So, like I said, I just got to thank, you know, my mom, my dad for just blessing me and installing that grit and that hard work, and just make no excuses and always grinding.
Carlos Nava, ESPN, this is for Yordenis in Spanish. Yordenis, ¿por qué aceptar esta pelea contra un rival tan complicado, 2 veces campeón del mundo, invicto, en su estadio, en su ciudad, después de vencer a Manny Pacquiao, que quizá pudiste haber tomado otra pelea menos complicada, aunque sea en el papel?
Yordenis, before you answer in Spanish to translate for the press what the question was, is after fighting Pacquiao, which was a complicated fight in its own, why do you accept this fight, which is really, really hard, a true challenge, when you could have maybe been content with basking in that glory and taking maybe a tuna fight? Why did you take this fight?
Bueno, no solo tomé la pelea, luché por la pelea, di una guerra para estar aquí en esta pelea. Pienso que es la mejor pelea, una de las mejores peleas en todo el boxeo, y como dije, dos de los tres mejores pesos fuertes del mundo. Y mi idea siempre es pelear contra los mejores, por eso estoy aquí hoy.
I not only accepted this fight, I pushed for this fight because I want to fight the best. And like I mentioned before, here we are, two of the best three welterweights in the world. So I want the biggest challenges. I'm here and I'm ready to prove that everything that I did so far wasn't flukado.
Pienso que Spence es de los mejores peleadores del deporte, y hace 4 años estoy llamando a esta pelea, el único peleador que llamo en todo mi café, porque para mí es uno de los mejores.
You know how long I've been calling for this fight? How long I've wanted this fight for? 4 years. I have been wanting this for so long. Spence is one of the best in the world, and I'm so glad that now I get to face him like I have wanted for the past half decade.
Continue Johnson, MMA Weekly. This question for both fighters. Whoever wins this fight, will that automatically make you the shot caller at 147 to show out 3 of the 4 medals?
Well, I've been a shot caller, so nah. So that wouldn't matter. I've been a shot caller. You know, like I said, on the big fish, especially at 147. So no, that doesn't matter at all.
Oh, sorry. So that was the. So what was saying?
Yes, does the winner means that he's the shot caller of the division and calls all the shots going forward.
Sorry, that was for Spence. ¿Crees que el ganador de esta pelea va a ser el que es el rey de la división?
200%, ganador va a tener 3 cinturones, pienso que va a ser el mejor de la división.
200%. Whoever wins this fight is going to be the king of this division and the one that calls the shots from now on.
¿Qué tal, Yordenis? Va a ser en español para AT&T Oficial. Yordenis, sabemos de los problemas que tuvo físicos tu contrincante. ¿Sientes tú que podría ser una ventaja, aunque sabemos que está en perfectas condiciones?
Sentí que, do you feel like the fact that you have been acting more recently and that you haven't had the setbacks, the physical setbacks that Spence has had, will give you an advantage?
No, pienso que estoy esperando el mejor Spence. Hace 2 años estaba rezando por él, que regresó de un accidente terrible.
I've been waiting for the best Spence to reappear for 2 years now. I was well aware that he had to overcome a terrible accident.
Este hombre tiene 7 vidas, una cirugía en el ojo no es nada.
And you know what? After that, surgery in his eye, that's nothing. I knew that he could overcome that.
EJ, we're Jeff Zimmerman, Fight News. How you doing, EJ?
Good.
And assuming all goes well on April 16th, should we expect you to go for undisputed against Terrence Crawford by the end of the year?
We'll see. Like I said, I gotta get past him first. So once I get past him, we'll definitely see. But like I said, you read the shirt, right? Alright.
Yordenis, Mariana Figuera de Telemundo Dallas. Tuvimos la oportunidad de hablar pocos días antes de tu combate ante Pacquiao. Me decías, en esa oportunidad querías que resaltar y catapultarte en el deporte, eso era lo que representaba esa pelea y que te tomaran en serio. Más allá de la unificación de peso en este combate, ¿qué representa esto para ti, Yordenis?
Yordenis, when we talked before the Pacquiao fight, you told us that this was your opportunity to show the world that they need to take you seriously, that you are here to be seen. Now, for this fight, what's the message that you want to send? What's the significance of this fight?
Sí, ha sido un camino fuerte mío. Para llegar a la cima no ha sido fácil. Pienso la pelea con Pacquiao me ayudó. Mucha gente que no me conocía me conoce. Esta pelea he llegado aquí por mi propio pie de todas formas. a una gran pelea, una pelea que me he ganado con mi trabajo y con mi sacrificio, y ganando peleas siempre. Y pienso que estoy aquí, es una pelea legítima, que estoy aquí, he hecho todo para estar aquí, para estar a WBC.
It's been a long, hard road. I had to go through a lot to get to where I am today. The Pacquiao fight, it did help me, yes, to get to where I am today. But make no mistake, I made it here through my hard work, my resilience, and my skills. And I'm ready to prove that once again here at the AT&T Stadium.
Thank you, and thank you for all your questions. That's going to conclude this press conference. Folks, again, it is April 16th. Showtime pay-per-view. It is a unification fight in the welterweight division, the glamour division. Errol Spence Jr., the IBF, the WBC welterweight champion of the world, taking on the WBA welterweight champion of the world, Yordenis Ugas, right here, AT&T Stadium. Get your tickets at SeatGeek.com. Again, SeatGeek.com. And we will see you on April 16th for one of the most significant fights of the year. Thank you for joining us. Gentlemen, we're going to take some pictures and have a little face-off.
Thank you. So members of the press, we are taking photos here. Stopping, we spot when we get the stadium and back. Stick with us. Take photos here and then we will quickly shoot your right.
Down in front, down in front. Place closer, down in front.
That's okay, it's just going to be a couple more poses.
Sure.
Back here, Ugas.
Can I give you a battery? Heather? That's for charge.
Another one? Just put that one.
Yeah, I'll take one.
Okay.
You know what, Heather, there's one of my batteries on the bar too. I don't know where the charger is. So. I'll bring one. Thank you.
Gracias. ¿Podemos hacerle un par de preguntas? Sí, cómo no. You want me in Spanish or in English? Okay.
Still got your belt. Okay, yeah. It's keeping nearby. Hey, George. What's up? He's right here. Quick photo op in front of the jumbotron. Then we'll come out of here for
Me and Jeff, well, we people up in there.
Hey Errol, what is the significance of your big fish tattoo?
I'm a big fish. I mean, I think it says it all. It's standing right there. Big fish, shark, great white, top predator.
You a shark then?
Short sight. And this is my belt, Jordan.
So we're gonna talk, Frank. What's up, Frank? You there?
Test. I'm on 30% ban on laptop.
Okay, just ride it out.
Turn that on, Jeff. Yeah, I got you.
You got 4,200.
Just hang on to it.
Yo, Derek, what's up, man? How you doing? Got a quick second? Oh, we're gonna go scrum right now? Live on FightHype, right? Let's go. Derek James right here.
Don't hate it yet.
So we're gonna do some more. We can go back and we're seeing some more screens back over there. Yeah, by the banner. We're gonna go back by the stage, Errol, and do a few more. Do some separate one-on-ones, and then we'll move on to phase 2. Errol, if you want to Alright, sounds good. Good? Yeah, we doing, sir?
Alright, go. Hang tight.
Thank you. Yep.
How are you, man? How's everything? Good, man. What's up? It's you and me next week. Oh, is it next week? Tell me when I was
Whoa, Andrew. Yeah. What?
I gotta get going. Where are you gonna shoot?
Let me ask you, brother. The sport of boxing, right? It's always been about the story of the fighters, and both you and Ugas have a remarkable story. Both of you guys have come over triumph. You hear his story as far as how he came to the United States, his whole journey as well as your journey. But when you hear his journey and you think of yours, what do you feel as far as separates you from Ugas? And not only that, but from your prior opponents. What separates Ugas from the past opponents that you had?
I don't know. It's just like Ugas probably still has, the hunger that wants to be the best. Something that he talks about a lot. Like, you want to be the best, you want to fight the best, and things like that. So I feel like he might be a little bit more hungry than the guys like Danny Garcia was already. Looks like he's good. He has his life and things like that. So he right off in the sunset and retire. Right now, he won't be bothered about it. So I feel like he's a lot hungrier than a lot of guys that I fought.
Errol, you talked about this third chance at boxing and the eye injury. Can you go back to last year and the timeline there? How fortunate you guys were to catch it when you did, knowing what you knew about how serious that could have been?
I don't feel like I was that fortunate to catch it because, I wanted to fight. So,
But you could have gone one.
Yeah, one eye. I got another eye, so that was my whole thing about it. When I had the patch on, I seen good with my one eye, so for me, I really just wanted to fight. I felt like it was a great opportunity for me, and it was kind of foolish too, but at the end of the day, I feel like I'm a warrior, and I'm a guy that, puts it on the line. I'm a guy at that moment, I'm grateful I didn't, but at that moment, I wanted to fight, and training camp, just leading up to it, knowing that, how great a champion, Pacquiao, was and still is, and everything he's done, he's a legendary, fighter in the sport. So, I wanted that opportunity, and it, just passed me by like that. So, at the time, I really wanted it, but it's a blessing that, it didn't happen, and the doctor didn't let me fight.
Do you feel like in a way you have 9 lives at this point?
I don't know about 9 lives. 'Cause, I mean, they run out. So, I just feel like, I'm extremely blessed and, I feel like, a lot of stuff, things been in my favor and I persevered through them all and something always, happened and it might delay me, but it never stops me. So, it's just a blessing to be here and, for me, this is a win-win for me. There's no way I can lose. Most people that went through a car accident like I did, just get thrown from the car and basically get thrown 50 feet in the air, land on concrete, solid concrete, and still be here to be able to talk and not long just box and run and not have any lingering pains in my body. That says a lot. It's just a higher power. It wasn't myself. It was something higher than myself that, that made sure I was okay.
EJ, he's a big welterweight, just like Kell Brook was. I don't know if you've seen a guy this big in a long time. What challenges does Ugas pose, and what did you learn from the Pacquiao fight?
I mean, he's just a good fighter. I mean, I didn't really learn, too much from the Pacquiao fight, but he's just a very good fighter. I mean, as you know, I support a lot of big guys like Big A and things like that. So I'm not worried about him, being a big guy, anything like that. So I just feel like it's gonna be a great fight. He's gonna come to fight, and like I said, I'm putting on another great one-sided performance like I usually do.
The fact he only has 12 knockouts, does that give you confidence to take it inside with him?
Nah, that doesn't mean anything to me. I'm gonna do whatever I need to do anyway. So I mean, it doesn't matter if he had 19 knockouts. I'm still gonna follow my game plan to do what I've always been doing. So now it doesn't matter 12 knockouts.
Because boxing, you mentioned wanting to become undisputed. What would it mean for the Errol Spence legacy to become the undisputed welterweight champion of the world?
It means a lot, but I feel like we just continuing the fight and after all the situations and stuff that I've been through and to come back and still continue to fight, I feel like that means a lot more to myself and something that I basically can talk to my kids about and tell them so they should never quit or anything like that. So I feel like that means a lot more to me than win another belt. But I mean, I'm on that verge, God willing. I stay healthy. I'm definitely gonna do what I've always been doing and keep winning, keep fighting the best out there. And if it wasn't for my eye injury, I would have the Ring magazine and the WBA belt. So they'll just tell you it all right there what's next. So
you mentioned Errol. You started out prior to you becoming a champion. You said that you were fighting for legacy. You want to be remembered as one of the greatest fighters in our era. And right now you're on a pathway to do that. But you mentioned the WBA, you have the WBC IBF belt, but there's one more belt that's out there, obviously Terrence Crawford. I know he's gone on record and said that he's spoken with you, had some sort of conversations with you about potentially making a fight in the future. What do you honestly feel that it would take for you guys to, potentially make that fight happen? I think that's the fight that all the fight fans are wanting, everybody's asking for, everybody's clamoring for, and it needs to happen.
It definitely needs to happen. I mean, we'll see after this fight. And, to my fault, it's something that, I'm not going to talk about to the public and stuff like that and things that, I need this, or he needs to do this, he needs to do that. For me, boxers have, we got egos too. Somebody telling me I need to do something, I need to do this, or he telling me I need to do this and I need to do that. That just plays into it. So the fight not happening, that plays into it. So I just feel like it just need to happen behind closed doors and something that our teams talk about and hopefully the fight can be made. So I definitely think it's very promising, especially me snatching this other belt from Ugas. So we'll see.
You got a lot of friends and family coming this week?
I definitely got a lot of fans and friends that come to this fight.
All right, thank y'all.
DC.
Guys, hang tight. We're gonna have
We're
your
good on
Dennis
you,
come
man.
right here.
Someone's got to hold him.
Everybody stay put. We're gonna have Ugas over
Someone's
here,
got to hold
okay?
him.
Your Dennis is coming right here, guys. Stranger.
Come here,
As we walk, it's cool. Okay.
We gonna get you on. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We gonna get him on.
Hey, Errol, real quick. What do you think about a potential bout against Jerron Boots Ennis? Is he a guy that you would face in the future? I know he's a young cat, but
I mean, he got a lot of talent. I mean, in the future, we'll see. We'll definitely see. But like I said, I ain't ducking guys nobody.
you see the talent though. You respect him.
Oh yeah, I respect talent. Talent, skills, the ability, everything. Like he got all the tools.
Or you think you need to make a statement? We're knocking split the Ugas out. Think this will be a statement win?
We'll see.
All right, thank you guys for these reporters here. All right.
Thank you very much for accepting this interview. Yeah.
I feel good. I feel like, everything's meant to happen. It happened to me for myself. I can't complain about it or, worry about it. I just got to get through it. And, just my hard work, my grit, my dedication and stuff the principles and stuff that my mom and dad instilled in me, got me to this point and keep me here. So, I feel great. I'm ready to rumble. I'm ready to go. Training's been good. I never look better. Just staying in the gym, staying focused. So I feel like it happened for a reason, just to keep my mind on track and not take anything for granted.
Complicated could be for you, for you like Ugas, with the motivation that he had been from the Manny Pacquiao fight after you having fights in December 2020.
I don't think it's complicated for me at all. Like I said, I've been in the gym and I've been training. I'm not just starting being in the gym. I've been in the gym probably 5-4 months, prior to this. So I've been training, been focused, and been hungry. So like I said, this is my third chance at boxing. My eye injury could have been career-ending. My car crash could have been career-ending. And it's been a hell of a ride so far. So I'm definitely not gonna give up, and I definitely won't give up after 16. And get another belt.
How kind of fight are you expecting from Ugas on April 16th?
He's a guy I feel like, it's going to be hard to break him. He's a guy that's going to always come to fight. He's going to give it his heart and going to give it his all. So I can expect a very, entertaining, action-packed fight for the fans. The fans going to love this fight. Who is coming to fight? I come to fight. It's going to be a great show.
These people need for you to fight at your stadium in front of your team, NFL team.
It feels good. It's gonna be great. Just having the fans here and have fans support me, and a lot of people don't fight at home because either the fans don't come out and support, or they look bad fighting at home. But I feel comfortable at home. I'm happy fighting at home, and I'm happy fighting in front of my friends and my family, and people coming out to support me. It means a lot to me, and I can't wait.
What do you need to do to keep Yordenis Ugas here on April the 16th?
Just follow the game plan of my coach. Keep doing what I've been doing in the gym. Most importantly, just staying focused. Doing this last 7 weeks, staying focused, staying hungry, listening to what my coach and my nutritionist say. Thank you.
Errol, real quick, what do you make and what's your reaction to pound-for-pound greats Lomachenko, Usyk, the Klitschko brothers going back to defend their hometown of Ukraine?
It's great. I feel like it was very great. It's very honorable. That's their hometown. They got defended and their family and their friends, and they take a lot of pride in that. So much respect for them. I hope everybody's safe in Ukraine. I hope they get past this, this great tragedy, and I just hope that it can come to a resolvement where they can stop the conflict between Russia and Ukraine.
Last one for me, real quick. What did you make of Keith Thurman's performance against Mario Barrios? And is he a relevant guy at welterweight still?
He always a relevant guy because he has a name. So, I thought his performance was good, especially being off 2 years. He had a very good performance, and you just got to stay at it, stay focused, stay hungry. He'll get back to the top.
Errol, you said you're doing your press conference right now that this is the most fun you've had in training camp. Why is that?
Just basically a different mindset. I actually been training probably, like I said, like 4 or 5 months prior to today. So that's why my training camp been good because my weight, I'm not blown up in weight, and I'm not wearing a sauna suit or just trying to lose weight and just working against my body. This training camp working with my body, so I feel like got a very happy mood right now.
2 more questions, guys. Errol, so obviously Ugas is not a tuner fight. Many people gave you the respect. Obviously on social media, you're very active. That why didn't you take a tuner fight? Obviously coming off of 2 tough injuries on your body.
I just don't believe in the tune-up thing. I feel like it's on me, and to fight somebody like Ugas caliber is gonna push me to the next level. It's gonna keep me, training hard. If I was fighting, just a Joe Blow or somebody I know I was gonna knock out, I'd probably be a little bit heavier. Probably, sometimes sneaking chips and snacks because I know that it's probably not going to be a long fight. So to fight somebody with Ugas caliber, I know that I got to be prepared 100%. I got to push my body to pass his limit to beat a guy like Ugas, and knowing that he's going to come to fight and he's a world champion, and he's a world talent too. So I got to bring it all out come April 16th.
Errol, at 147. Obviously, you're always going to have a target on your back, so to speak. But when you think of these young guys, these young up-and-comers like WBC #1 ranked, WBO #1 ranked, Virgil Ortiz Jr., you also have Jerome Boots Ennis, who I believe is fighting for the IBF Eliminator, attempting to get a chance at that title. What do you make of that? What are your thoughts as far as them as fighters, as potential opponents in the future, considering that maybe even Virgil, being here from Dallas as well, Grand Prairie to be exact, it would be a huge fight here in Dallas.
Jaren, I feel like he's very skilled, got a lot of good talent, good reflexes. He can really fight. I like him. Virgil, he's very good too. You can tell, he's worked very hard. Got his dad by his side. Just like Jaren too, he got his dad by his side, so that's a plus too. And keep him focused on the right track, and to keep focused on the right track, they get a shot at these titles. So we'll see if it's too early.
Hey Earl, how important is making AT&T Stadium the house of Errol Spence?
It's very important. I feel like this is my opportunity just to put on a great show and another great performance. So I can't wait. I feel like this is already my home. So I just got to put on the show come April 16th. Can't wait. Everybody make sure they come out. Another spectacular performance. I feel like it'll probably be a better performance than the Danny Garcia fight. I feel like a better performance than Canelo fighting BJ Saunders. So I feel like it's gonna be a great fight. I can't wait till everybody come tune in and watch me put on fireworks April 16th.
All right, thank you guys. We appreciate you.
Appreciate it, EJ.
Man, I gotta cut this soon because my laptop is it's on 9%, but we'll see if we can get another few minutes on.
I'll bother you something.
Yes. Social media cases.
sir. How you feeling, Coach? How you doing, man? It's you looking sharp, brother. It's a big press conference. What did you make of the press conference today, Coach?
Yeah, it was good, man. It was just what it is, man. That's I think being face to face and seeing each other and getting ready to go. I mean, that's what it's all about.
You know, you guys are always, pretty much for the most part, always been respectful to your opponents, and and that's that speaks highly as far as your team and how you carry yourself. But as I told Earl, boxing's always been about the story of the fighters, man. And when you think about the story of Ugas, how he came, how he got his chance, I know you touched on it a little bit. What do you make of that, Coach, especially with Earl going through what he had to go through?
I think two fighters you take challenge in life and didn't quit, didn't give up. That's the key element. When you think about it, like two guys in same challenges, trying to escape six times, and on the seventh time you got out, it's crazy. It's motivation. So obviously you feel like you wanted a better life. So when you came to America, you won some fights, and you lost. Then they brought him back as an opponent, so he took off like a couple of years. Man, that's crazy, man.
Coach.
I think we gotta go.
Hey, real quick, 2 tough losses to Tyson Fury. Do you think Deontay Wilder needs to retire, and does he rank in the top 10 of all-time American heavyweights?
I don't think he needs to retire because one loss, man, whatever it is now.
You think he should still fight?
Yeah, man, why not?
That's what's up.
Fight.
Appreciate it. 6%.
No, I understand, but
Hey, Jay, what is this frame right here?
Camera speed.
Jay,
right?
this is what you approved?
Shot size?
It's just what you want. This is why there's not one.
Pretty good. How you doing? All right, cool. I'll let it roll in.
Yeah, do that. So, yeah, we're just adjusting for the third person. That's why. Good move, Ash. Good move.
Center that, yeah. Great.
It's not the same. Times have changed.
He'll look at me when he answers. Yeah. That's what we did last time. We have more teams. So now I'm just kind of getting into this profile stuff.
You can also, you guys just come in.
Jay, should I just move the camera more and get the back?
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Rolling.
What? Yes.
As best as you can. Yeah, I don't see you in the wide. I'll let you know.
No. Your mic on a translator is on the opposite side. You want it closer?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna move it.
Okay.
Good call. Sound person. That's
I'm sorry. It drives me nuts.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. It's helpful.
All right, we ready?
Yeah. We're just fixing Whitey's mic.
Came off that
You should always still have a sound.
No,
I just love telling people what to do too. So
you're helping us. I appreciate it.
you can
my God.
Hey, too fast. Oh, yeah, oh.
Thank you. Sorry, I didn't know that's
All right, let's go.
All right, I'm rolling. You're rolling. Speedy. Yeah. Yeah, Brian, you're tight here. This is why. Jay. Jay. Yes. All right. All right, I'm rolling. You ready? You good?
2%.
All right, is everyone good?
That's right. It is the last stand where we bring you the biggest names in the sport, in the welterweight division. One of the best and the top fighters at 147 is the WBA welterweight champion of the world. Yordenis Ugas joins us here on the last stand. How are you, campeón? Listen, so April 16th, Showtime pay-per-view, you taking on arguably the top guy in the division in Errol Spence Jr., the unified champ. Martin Bader's with us. He's going to do all the translation, by the way, folks. You've already beaten Manny Pacquiao. Tell me why you're going to beat Errol Spence Jr.
Yo le gané a Manny Pacquiao. Ahora, contanos, ¿por qué le vas a ganar a Errol Spence Jr.? I'm a fighter, I'm a warrior that has always proven that I can come out strong and I come to fight with all I have. And April 16th is going to be no different. Fans are going to have a great show and they're going to see the best version of Yordenis Ugas.
1%.